Hi everyone, my name's Ben Koder. Most people just call me Koder because I do some programming sometimes. Don't worry, there is no code in this presentation. In fact, most of the work that I made for this project doesn't have much programming at all. Okay, so I guess I'll introduce myself a little bit. I just graduated game design from RMIT last year, but throughout my degree I've been working at a lab at RMIT called the VX lab. Basically what we do is hunt down really cool new technology and see if we can build interesting things on top of it to use it for ideally education or research. And one of my projects I've been working on for the past year has been making holograms that you can reach out and touch, and they will touch you back. So who has had this wonderful experience being in IMAX and seeing the thing in front of you and you like kind of reach out and like try and touch it? No one does that. It's really awkward and really doggy. I've never done that. Don't say I did. Who's ever wanted to do that? It's pretty cool. Or maybe like that or this. Or maybe that, I don't know. We keep going towards these weird holograms that people can like interact with in strange ways. And no one's done it yet, so I'm like, why? Surely the technology might be there. So with these three mysterious items in your possession, you might be able to make holograms that you can touch. The first one is this weird funky display. It is called a looking glass display, made by Looking Glass Factory, not sponsored. The one we've used is a 32-inch. It's got 8K detail, but you don't actually see all those pixels, and I'll explain why later. The text on this preview thing is really small, so I have to read off the screen. It is a lenticular display. So if you've ever seen one of those little plastic business card size things, you rotate and the picture changes, it's that, but it's got an 8K screen behind it. And then it uses the lenticular lens to refract that into separate views. It's only got a 53-degree viewing angle, which isn't great, but it means that multiple people can sort of be standing in front of it and you all sort of get the effect. It can render between 45 to 100 separate views. So that's as you move from side to side, you get a fluid sort of change in perspective as you move across the screen. It recommends an RTX 3090 to run it though, because it has to render all those views separately in Unity or Unreal or whatever engine you're using. We used a 4090 in the lab and it still chugged. Yeah, so this is kind of what it looks like. This is an older prototype that the company made. They had a good GIF of it, so I stole the GIF. It does this by rendering out a quilt, which is a huge array of all of the images from left to right, top to bottom, and it spits those out on the display so that it gets refracted depending on what angle you're looking at from it. Okay, what's next? Yeah, so what I did, there is a video in here. Don't worry about that. Basically, you don't have access to view it. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I use this service called Luma, and I took a video with my drone of the city, and then I took that video into the process from Luma into Unity. Unity then turned it out into a bunch of quilts, and then you can fly around this scene in 3D through this holographic screen, and it's pretty cool. And that's just with the screen. That's got nothing interactive. It's just like WSAD keyboard controls. To make it more interactive, we need another piece of technology, and that is a leap motion hand tracking sensor. This is specifically the Ultra Leap Motion 2. Uses infrared depth tracking. It's basically a Kinect that's shrunk down. You put it on your tabletop so that you can do stuff like that. And it's pretty cool, and it's pretty groovy, and it works surprisingly well. Yeah, and now with that and that, we can do stuff like this. So using your hands, you can interact with this 3D depth screen. It's like a 3DS on steroids. And you can reach in and the holograms move around, but you can't feel anything. So what's the point? It's just kind of, you're just waving your hands around. It looks very silly. So for that, we need a third fancy piece of technology. This is the Ultraleap REC192. It does not have a marketable name because it is not available in the market yet. But our lab's got our hands on one. It is an array of 190 ultrasound transducers. Basically, it vibrates ultrasound where your hands are, and it can then do stuff like this, so that your hands kind of can feel the ultrasound in a dense point in space. It's pretty neat. It does really cool stuff. And then with that and that, you can see at the top, that's where the Leap Motion hand tracking sensor goes. You get a video that I can't play from my end. Oh, but there it is. I made that. It's a bunch of cubes floating around, and as you swipe past it, you can feel that with your hands, and it's a pretty cool time. I also made this, which is like a holographic keyboard, so you can like reach out and do your funky Iron Man, Minority Report shenaniganry. Yeah. And that's my talk. That's my LinkedIn. If you want to have me on LinkedIn, talk to me about weird tech.